This podcast is brought to you by our Anime Addicts community. And if you want to join our Discord, you can go to AAAdiscord.com. Join the Discord. You can get in on all the events, all the special activities that we do, all the debates, all the live watch parties, etc. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, you can go over to AAApodcast.com/join or our Patreon page. Throw us a couple bucks and you'll get our 8 exclusive podcast episodes per month that we give just to you as a special thank you for helping out the show. Again, that's AAApodcast.com/join or Patreon. And now, time to get it started.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAApodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Hello, I hope everyone has brought their fire-retardant headphones and their burn heels to this spicy heater of an episode. You are listening to episode 669 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast, the only podcast around to make your anime addiction questionably worse. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, welcome one and all to a very fun episode we have planned for you. But first and foremost, I have to introduce my co-host. We have the evolving form of the Vicar of Flame, an associate of Anime Satan himself. We have Mitsugi. How's it going?
I'm doing okay. I'm watching March Madness.
How's that going for you?
The guy who's like 5'1" just made a free throw. Very exciting. Game's
nice.
pretty
Is
much
he going
over.
to do it again?
He's going to shoot one right now. He puts it behind his back. He dribbles, he shoots. Off the glass. Did he call bank?
Womp,
I don't
womp.
know.
It's open on Sundays.
Mitzi, how are you going to, roast DIY today while you are just preoccupied watching basketball?
Well, you see, when I'm drinking this Roku gin, the finest of all gins, imported and distilled in Japan, distributed by Suntory Drinks, Chicago, Illinois, I am twice as productive. And if you would like to buy a bottle of Roku gin,
ask Emery about it.
Ask the Discord. So I am having some Roku gin with my 7-Up. It's pretty easy. I can talk shit on DIY with about as much effort as I put in watching it. And maybe I'll say nice things about DIY. How do you even know that I didn't like it?
Because I know you.
Maybe I loved it.
Well, you'll have to stay tuned for our review and do it yourself later. But first, I have to introduce the firekeeper of a raging bonfire. We have Caroline. How's it going?
Hi.
Rocking the
good.
plaid.
I'm good. Thank you. Yes, flannel day, isn't it? I got myself a nice cider here because we went to Angry Orchards yesterday. Very good time. And I am ready to roast some shows in our Anime Razzies today.
Yeah.
It's always a really good time. Although I think the first time we did it was last year, but yeah, it was really fun. So I'm excited.
Is the Vicar of Flame the boss that when you get him halfway, he loses his legs and he crawls around and lava comes out of him?
Ooh, I don't know, but maybe.
That was a DLC boss in Bloodborne. It was unbelievably difficult. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. We are streaming live on Twitch, which we do every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. But now that the time zone has changed, it's still 5 p.m. It hasn't changed. It's 5. Oh, we will be 5 until we change it, and then we'll let you know. Thank you, everyone who listens live there. Thank you especially to our newest Discord boosters. We have Godspeed Zoro, Ghoulie, and Wormy. Big thank you to you, as well as anyone who just supports the bonus content, which you can find at our website at AAApodcast.com. Joins the Discord, anyone who subscribes, follows, engages with us on social, gives us iTunes reviews. We love you all, even if all you do is listen. We still like you. A little bit less than everyone else if all you do is listen, but we still like you all the same.
Everyone else gets brownie points. but you
Yeah.
got the standard amount of points.
You just get the really poorly drawn star that says there was an attempt, and we love you all the same.
Yeah, but everyone else that supports us gets a good job.
Good job.
We have a powerful Discord. I mean, it's very active, and we have so many boosts that they almost need to like put another level into Discord so we can get even more rewards, because we're well over level 3, which is as far as Discord goes. And I'm just like, Discord, so why don't you step it up? Like, you're owned by Microsoft. Take it to level 10. Find some more shit to give people. Why are you fucking slacking? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you would think they hate money.
You would think.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but thank you very much to the Discord.
Oh, another thing I want to add is that I'm nearing the end of my jelly bean game here. I think I have like 15 jelly beans left. So this episode could very well be the end for the jelly bean game, at least for a little while, because it is a little bit of a pain in the butt to continue doing for so long, and also I'm worried for my teeth. So we will pause it for a while, and maybe we'll pick it up now and then if we really want to, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Nice. Thank you for the update. Well, without any further ado, we've got a lot to get to, from our 2022 Anime Razzies to a bunch of extra fun topics that we do. Let's get into our big news of the week.
It's time for big news of the week.
Okay, this is sort of like a joke. I just couldn't resist. So, there's a video game called Atelier Ryza that I actually bought one at one point. It was on sale. I got it for like $10, and I was like, I've seen this character a lot. It's like, wow, this character, I've seen her. I know who she is. Stout Ryselin, I think her name is. And mostly it's because Stout Ryselin is this character that is overly sexed up on the internet. Stout Ryselin.
It's a weird name.
Yeah. So if you look up this character, Stout Ryselin, she's the character from the Atelier game that has like the really tight thigh-high like leggings on, and then she has like epic short shorts. So there's about
booty shorts. Yeah,
booty shorts. There's about 8 inches of thigh showing, but the shorts and the leggings are so tight that they literally make her thighs like bulge out of like, you know, in the space where there's skin exposed. And this character is like one of the most overly sexualized characters that, like, she's up there with like 2B probably from the last 10 years in gaming. And this video game is fucking horrendous. I mean, it is probably, I mean, if I go on Metacritic, I bet this fucking game has like a 50. Atelier Ryza. If Atelier Ryza 2, wow, it's got an 81. I don't think I played the second one. This game is horrendous. And I'm thinking to myself, of course this would get an anime. Like, why hasn't it already had an anime? Why aren't there 4 seasons? Because the bottom line is that this game is just a giant booster shot in the arm of just the internet community that just cranks out lewd porn pictures of everything. Those of, what is it, Rule 34 or whatever, where, you know, there's porn. Someone on Twitch said Atelier Swarmy Whiplash, Atelier Thiza. Thiza or whatever. So this basically, they're making this into an anime. Not because the game is some like acclaimed masterpiece, because it's a pile of utter dog shit. I almost never buy a game and quit after an hour.
Are you gonna buy the third game that comes out this week?
There is no fucking way. The Atelier games have been bad for so long that there is absolutely no way anybody could possibly convince me to buy another one.
It's coming out March 24th.
Jesus, Mason, you know me. You know me.
I know you.
If you go on my PlayStation account and look at my trophies, the last 20 games I've played, I've platinumed 15 of them or so. So for me to drop a game after an hour is pretty intense. Like, that means this game is utter shit.
What if someone told you it took 5 hours to get the platinum? Would you do it?
I probably would. Because I'm just a whore like that. But the point is, this is being made into an anime, not because the game is great, but because people want to whip out their stuff and go to town on it to read the Stout Ryselin's bulging thigh gap, and the internet will explode with porn. What say you? Thoughts?
I
Jelly
mean,
bean.
if this PV is anything to go by, the anime also looks terrible. So
Well, I'm not surprised. But you've seen this character, right? You know the character.
I have never seen
Are you
or
kidding?
heard Rosalind. Yeah, I
You've
guess I
never
don't
seen this
patrol the
character?
same streets that you do on the
Oh,
Weber
man.
nets.
Okay. Well, that's not even big news. I just felt like saying that. So I just, but like everything,
Nice.
everything gets an anime, even when it doesn't have any business having an anime. And there's so many things that need an anime that do not have one. You know, like I would kill another human right here. I would bash this glass water bottle over a human's head and kill them for an anime of the Lunar RPG. But
Really?
I will never get
That
that.
badly?
Yes. Yes.
So bad that you get sent to prison and won't be able to watch it anyway?
Oh, I'll get to watch it. Hey, are you kidding me? We're not talking about the Colorado Supermax, the Florence Supermax. I mean I'll go to like baby prison. It'll be fine. I'm not a threat. I just wanted to watch anime.
You just said you'd bash somebody's head in for a random video game anime that probably won't be good.
You got to do what you got to do, okay? This is anime. This is really important stuff, okay? All right. Now what's actually happening in big news?
Speaking of anime that has no I mean, I was gonna say has no business becoming an anime. That was just a joke. Gintama is coming out with a new anime. Yay! It is the spin-off novel series, Class 3Z's Teacher Genpachi. It's a spin-off novel series from the original Gintama manga, and it will get an anime adaptation. It is set in Gintama High School and follows Genpachi as a teacher and his other students who are probably going to be characters from the show. So it was actually previously animated as a short at the end of several Gintama anime series episodes. So if you watch Gintama, you probably know what you're going to get. And it seems like it's just another bit of Gintama content for everyone that loves it. So figured we should mention it.
Is this like Isekai Quartet but with Gintama?
It's more like I don't know, a spin-off comedy
No,
short.
at the end of like Gintama episodes back in the day, it would be like it was kind of like a meta little segment after an ED where they'd be like, Genpachi, why does like the mangaka always draw you with like this haircut or something stupid? And he would like answer it in a very like comical manner. So it was not like a fusion of different isekai, but it was more of just a meta gag.
Change in like setting, I guess.
Yeah. It's weird though, because this is based off a novel series that isn't done by the source material guy. It's not like Hideaki, it's Tomohito Osaki, so it's a different person. So I don't know how well the comedy will carry over. And these segments were funny, but they were funny because they were a different flavor at the end of a show. It wasn't the show itself.
It was also a short, yeah. And I don't know if this will be a short anime or full length or not. We will see. We don't know when it's going to be coming out anyway, so more to find out about that. But you can be on the lookout for it if you enjoy some spin-off Gintama stuff.
It will never end.
Let me ask you a couple questions
never,
about
ever.
this. I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So if
Well, you don't have the answers,
it's not done by the original creator?
No.
So is it canon or is this just bullshit?
It's not really going to have actual plot in it. It's just a silly comedy spin-off has no implications on the real world of Gintama. It is just kind of a what if situation. What if Genpachi was a teacher? What if these were his students, etc. It's kind of like if you ever saw any of it, it's Attack on Titan Junior High, where they put all the Attack on Titan's characters into a chibi form and put them in a junior high school, and they make jokes about their show.
So it's a cash grab.
Yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, people would watch it. It's funny stuff.
It's a spin-off like anything else.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like canon or anything.
All right, well, I just want you guys to know that I'm wearing pants right now, and that just can't continue. I'm way too hot. I'm taking my pants off.
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, Zmitz does just that. Let me give him a reason to put his pants back on, which is that the Nier Automata version 1.1a anime has been delayed again.
He's not even hearing this.
Drops trout. Yeah, he knows. He knows about this.
Here they are.
He displays his pants to the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Once delayed before at episode 4 back in January, Nier Automata came roaring back for 5 more episodes, and now is delayed indefinitely.
No.
Episode 9 and beyond.
Why?
Once again, due to COVID. This is the second time that A1 Studio, that people who are producing this, have kind of just had weird delays. This happened a while back with 86 season 2, where they were just like, we're just delays. It happens. But to put it on COVID is maybe an air of truth. Maybe it's just a convenient scapegoat. I don't know. It is a shame, though, for fans of the show. So I'm sure you'll get it eventually. It's too popular that they're just going to stop it. But man, this is kind of a mess.
I'm so tired of
It
hearing
can't
about
be much
COVID.
worse than Uncle from Another World. Isegai Oji-san.
It's getting there. We don't know. It could be.
I've been watching March Madness all week, right? And I literally have seen the Paxlovid commercial 300 times, which is like the antiviral that reduces COVID's symptoms by 90%. And I just ask myself, when drugs and therapeutics like this exist, who cares? Like, take the damn drug and move on with your life. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't understand why we're still delaying things for this. It's going to be 2027, and we're going to delay anime for COVID. like what? There's so many therapeutics.
We'll see. I don't know.
Crazy. Anyway, moving on.
In maybe better news, Ranking of Kings has announced that its new anime will come out on April 13th. Now, this is not a full season, we think. This has long been described as a quote-unquote special episode, and people weren't sure, is it going to be full length? Is it going to be a longer thing? We haven't really been given much info. But the new Ranking of Kings, which is titled Treasure Chest of Courage, is said that it will premiere on April 13th and will air every Thursday for weeks on end coming after it. So, people are speculating on if this is now a weekly show, if it is 10 episodes long. Is it a one special episode thing and then they're just going to replay season 1? We still don't know, but at least we're getting some new content from Ranking of Kings, which is exciting no matter which way it is. So I'm excited. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm kind of confused by that announcement with, like, it was already kind of established to just be one episode, but now they're saying there's going to be more. I don't know, confusing. But regardless, I will be looking forward to it.
I'm excited. I said last week Ranking of Kings was my anime of the year. But I wonder, like, I'm trying to recall where that anime left off because I'm not 100% sure where the story's going.
So it left off with, spoiler warning for Ranking of Kings. Daida, the brother of Boji, he was restored to the throne because Boji abdicated in favor of creating his own kingdom with his friend Kage. And so now they're out on an adventure.
Okay. Well, I hope it doesn't get the season.
I have no idea what this could be.
I hope it doesn't get the season 2 letdown treatment that so many others have had. So
I can definitely see a sequel season not hitting the same notes as the first season did because they had such high highs in the first season. It's going to be difficult to follow up on that, but I'm going to be hopeful.
Do you think this is a sequel season though, right now?
It's so confusing. I can't say one way or the other.
I don't think it will be.
You don't think it's going to be you don't think it's going to be a sequel or not a season?
No, I think this is going to be a very short season. I'm thinking
story,
like
perhaps?
six episodes, like 5 minutes long, based on no information, just gut feeling.
Are you going to put money on this?
No, I look forward to us coming back in 2 weeks when we're like, oh yeah, it came out. It's actually not at all what we thought. I just don't want anyone getting excited. I don't want to lead anyone on here.
The other thing that's going to contribute to another iteration of or a sequel or whatever you want to call it of Ranking of Kings is that the art style was so unique and just to me so special looking that the first season was this like magical, whimsical thing that took everybody by surprise because the art was such like a classic style and really lent like an air of uniqueness to that anime. And if you have the sequel in the same art style, you're not going to have that same sort of sort of magical splendor, so to speak, that went into the first season. So I'm a little concerned that when you take away the novelness of the art of the animation style, that it may not carry the same sort of it factor that the first season had. But we'll see. I'm still excited. Reagan Kings is great.
Shall we move from talking about great things to things that were not as great?
I think so.
Is it time for the Razzies?
It's time for the 2022 Anime Razzies. Last episode, Oscar's episode, was a celebration of the finest shows and characters and moments of last year. That will not be the case here. This will be us just straight up complaining for no reason other than it feels good sometimes to get it off your chest. Going through some of the worst moments that we had to experience in the name of anime. And hopefully share that pain with you, because that's how communities come together, is hatred.
That's how the internet was founded, on hatred.
Hatred and Rule 34. And boy, do we have a lot of that here.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God, yes.
We have a couple categories that we put together. We voted on. This is our opinions alone, but please feel free to chime in, comments, Twitch, Discord, what we missed, what you think should have been here, and we'll have that discussion. But for
there
now,
are opinions, but make no mistake, we are 100% correct in every single opinion. No, we're just kidding. Like, of course, everyone has different tastes. So if we roast something that is your favorite, please treat us with kindness.
Or that.
Then we know nothing. We know absolutely nothing about anime.
The goggles, they do nothing.
I mean, I've seen 750 anime or something, and I still think I know nothing. So, and that's
who wants to start us off?
I'm
with
going
the
first.
Category? Oh, well, then lay it on us, my dude.
All right, I'm gonna go first and start off by making everyone angry. I hate this character so much.
What category is this?
Worst boy.
Okay.
So here comes the hate. Here comes the hatred. Everyone's like, "Oh, Mitsuki sucks."
I'm ready.
Mitsuki sucks. I hate Inosuke from Demon Slayer so much.
That's wild.
That it is unfucking believable. He is. God, he's everything I hate about anime, and none of the things I love about it.
Not Zenitsu?
No, I hate Zenitsu is not a great character either. But Inosuke is literally a character that just screams and like headbutts trees and acts like a fucking dipshit. And that's all he does. And he's just horrible. And he's not even strong. Like, he contributes very little. In that anime, as far as like the hero side goes, only what the hell's the main character's name?
Tanjiro?
Yeah, only Tanjiro is relevant.
Yeah, that was an Inosuke move right there. Ganpachiro, Kanado.
Yeah, I do not like Inosuke. Zenitsu's he's fine, I guess. I think he's very bland. Tanjiro is a fine character, although he's an intense Mary Sue. But Inosuke is just he's the equivalent of like a moe girl that just screams about like not getting her way. He's just gonna like scream about being hungry and cry and like flail around and like slam into trees and then utterly suck ass at fighting and always lose. And he's just not good.
He does not suck.
He sucks. He does.
No, he doesn't.
He sucks. Give him a straw. Stick a straw in it. He'll suck it. Okay? All right, well, so, then what is your worst boy, Caroline? Let's hear it.
Okay, so this one is actually kind of interesting because there are so many worst boys I could have chosen from horrible shows. Black Summoner, like Kelvin, hated him. We had part 2 of Realist Hero. Easily could have put him down because I hate him. But I wanted to go with something a little bit different, and also going for a worst boy in what is not awful show. It's not a bad show, but this is the worst boy of that show, and that would be Flock from Attack on Titan.
Who the hell is Flock?
Flock is Aaron's kind of second in command within the Jaegerists. He does a lot of shit. He's one of the only survivors from the charge that killed Irvin and the rest of the Survey Corps in the battle against the Beast Titan. Spoilers for AOT, by the way. So he's one of the only survivors. He tries to save Irwin. He fails, and now he just is...
Spoilers.
He is Aaron's little bitch boy. He does so much shit. He's so annoying, and he's so stuck in his ways, which I guess is fine. He knows what he believes in, and he does not falter. But I cannot help but hate this person so much because he's just so frustrating and
So you went with someone who wasn't necessarily a bad character.
He
just
has
you
his
hate
purpose.
Them.
I hate him in this world, but he has his purpose.
Can I add one thing here real quick?
Yes.
I just want to cow to the Demon Slayer mad fan community and just say that I actually don't hate Demon Slayer. I just don't like Inosuke. just like you love Attack on Titan, but you don't like Flock, whoever the fuck that is. Terrible name, by the way. It's just like, it's way too close to fuck. Like, I don't know, it just looks like, if I was dyslexic, I might read that name as fuck, honestly.
Honestly, and I would not correct you.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
My worst boy, these worst boy and worst girl categories are always tough for me because it's a matter of not choosing a character you just straight out hate because, they're evil or they're annoying, but like you think that they are portrayed in a way that falls flat. And for me, reflecting on, this series, the one that really came to mind was the main character of Platinum End, which was so unmemorable that I had to look it up because I forgot that they said the word Mirai Kakahashi 1,000 times in that show. But yeah, the main character of Platinum End, Mirai Kakahashi, was just insufferable and was such an uninteresting protagonist with his ideals, his changing of his ideals, and just what he needed to be to make the show succeed and be interesting. He was none of those things. He failed the show. He failed himself. He learned nothing. He gained nothing from this experience, and he made us all suffer through 24 episodes because of it.
God, yes.
And
I think the main thing that
so much pain
really frustrates me with him is not even necessarily his belief that he should never ever kill no matter what. It's how quick he switches up on that belief in the end, and with no real reason. There was no real reason compared to the other situations he was in that anime.
Exactly. He wasn't an interesting character for the show, and he wasn't an interesting character for himself. He just served no masters. He was voiceless, and it just made everything feel so shallow and hollow and insufferable. And that is a bad character in my mind. And in my mind, the worst of 2022.
Ooh.
Platinum End did
I
suck.
thought about him for a second, but there are others that make me rage more than him.
Platinum End was a really bad anime.
It was pretty rough.
The next category is worst girl. And I don't remember what I put down. Oh, yeah. I do remember. I wrote, this is what I wrote.
You wrote what?
The little fucking baby from Devil is a Part-Timer.
I had a feeling this might have been it.
God, what a pile of shit. She ruined that whole anime. She's the reason why that anime sucks. They basically...
I don't know if
she's a couple
big part of
reasons,
it.
Actually.
I understand, but she's a big part of it, though. They spent half that anime discussing, like, how to deal with a baby. I mean, it was just like, as if anime said, the anime creators up upon high were like, oh, how do we make this anime popular again? Oh, let's put some moe garbage in it. And then that's what the anime became about, and then it just sucked immediately. And plus, didn't the baby have, like, purple hair?
Yes.
And purple and black?
She had white with a purple highlight.
God, I just can't do
it.
it.
It was like a purple highlight, but it also like a purple gradient where it, like, slowly turned purple, I think.
Terrible character.
How did you not remember her name, though? They had to say it a million times, and it was just such a complicated, stupid name. It was Alice Ramese! Alice Ramese!
I just want to say something, and this is a compliment. You guys are utter fucking geniuses. You and Mason both, because you're like, Adaramis or whatever, or the fuck, and Mirai Taka, whatever. I don't remember the names.
I had to look up my main character. I would not have gotten that.
I can't remember the names of characters from shows I watched 4 hours ago.
I only remember the name because it was so freaking stupid.
You guys are fucking geniuses, and I love it. I love you both.
Thank you.
And this is not the Jin talking.
Aww.
Next.
That's just the Jin talking.
So for my worst girl, I put down worst girl from a show that you guys probably did not watch at all, and that would be I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. Worst girl, Lilia. She is freaking awful. And also, small spoiler, I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss, because she is the protagonist of the Sotome game. But it turns out she's a little pick-me girl bitch.
Eat a jelly bean for that.
I'll reserve one for myself because that was pretty good.
There we go.
It doesn't follow any of the rules, but hey, this could be the last day of jelly beans, so whatever. Yeah, so she is horrible. She's evil. Spoiler. She does everything in her power to just make the main character. Oh God, her name.
I love it when Caroline curses.
Eileen. Well, I save it for special occasions.
This is low-key my favorite thing in the world.
Eileen, she tries to make her life a living hell. Tries to, ruin every single good thing that Eileen has going on. Lilia also tries to steal her fiance twice. Twice she does this! And it's so frustrating. And she is so just utterly horrible. So, yes, worst girl, Lilia. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, shit.
I had to end it on that
God.
kind of.
Don't you have a drop of you cursing on here somewhere? I can't find it.
I don't think so.
Mason, what do you got?
My worst girl of 2022 has to be Kaina from Land of Lee Dale.
Kaina.
That was my original choice.
Character?
My original choice for
Yes.
like 75% of the time before I landed on Lilia. So I'm glad you put it in there.
Is not bad in the same way that she's like inherently like an evil character or something,
Right.
or like so bland, but she is portrayed in a way where you're supposed to take her as being a source of comedy, and she is not in the slightest. She is so irritating and vapid, and she's always
I
like,
hate her.
we have to take things seriously.
Vapid.
This game is reality, but then causes havoc and doesn't follow her own like philosophy at all.
Yes.
And
She's also an abusive mother.
yeah, yes, these are like not her kids, like it's a game, like I get that, but she's also just a terrible mother figure, just friend, compatriot. She just will let you down with like lofty ambitions. She's just a bad person and annoying to watch.
Sorry.
No,
I keep
go
on
for
wanting
it.
to jump in on your...
Please level it on her. She deserves it. She deserves
Yeah, but I
all
should
the
have
hate.
waited until you finished talking.
No,
I'm sorry.
go for it.
But it makes it worse that they keep on like framing her as a good main character protagonist. Like she is supposed to be somebody that we root for, but no, she's just utterly terrible, and they act like she's not.
And it's once again that disconnect between how the show is trying to make her seem and how it is. It would be the same myths as if everyone was like, oh, Inosuke is like this brave, valiant, well-spoken person who, like, and it's like, no, that's not how he is at all. And just, it's at odds with what the show is going for and misses the boat and made this show so insufferable for me. Yeah.
She
Worst
did
girl.
suck. That whole anime
I'm glad
sucked.
that you put that in there for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the best thing about this topic is that almost nobody will defend these shows because they just suck that badly. Perviest character. All right. This is a great category. This is a category after my own heart. My pervious character is Marin Kitagawa. It's pretty obvious. Oh.
This is the character you go with?
You're going to make a face like that?
No, I'm making this face because there's so many other better choices that
I'm not sure about
that you were going to go with.
The character who said her number one hobby was playing porn video games. The character who literally stripped down to borderline naked in a boy's bedroom and told him to measure her breasts.
For a reason.
Okay. Yeah. A girl. Yeah. Okay.
Just
yeah.
like Icy Rosie keeps on trying to tell you.
I mean, I don't really care. There's about 1 million people that could have measured her bust other than the boy that she's obviously interested in. Including
it's best if he's the designer.
I had this wild idea. It's called, there's one 100 feet from where I live. It's called a tailor. It's amazing. It's called dry cleaning and alterations. You walk in there and you say, measure my tits. and they whip out the measuring tape and they do it. Better yet, that would cost you $10. You go, hey, Mom, come into the bathroom for a second. Measure my breasts for me. Oh, but no. I'm going to walk into a boy's...
She's simply confident enough to not have to take the extra step.
She's going to... No. Mom, fuck you, Mom. You must not have thumbs. You can't hold the measuring tape. I'm going to walk into this boy's bedroom that I barely know, whip out my stuff, and say, measure my hard, stiff nipples in this bikini top. Is it cold in here? I wonder. And then he measures it, and he's barely conscious. And then 5 episodes later, she's riding him in a fucking love hotel dressed as a succubus.
Okay, I'm not even saying that she's not pervy. I'm not saying that she's not pervy. What I'm trying to say is she is probably... There are so many characters that would be pervier that you could have gone with. Sorry,
I'm not saying I even have a problem with this. I'm not saying Maren Kitagawa was not hot. I'm not even saying I wouldn't hit it. Honestly, the entire internet, half of the megabytes of data on the internet is exclusively reserved for naked photos of Maren Kitagawa. And I would hit it, just like every other anime fan that watched that anime. But she is a fucking perv, and when you go through school and you come home and you can spend your precious free time on only one fucking thing at night, you pick the most important thing in the world to you. For me, it's piano and playing video games. And to Maren Kitagawa, it's playing porn video games, and that's the bottom line. Put a fork in it. I'm fucking done.
Okay, so let's get to my pervious character, which is the biggest ball drop for you, Mitsugi. You really should have gone for
balls.
the only correct answer, which happens to be Dark Schneider.
Yeah!
Dark fucking Schneider, and you didn't pick it? You, that is, with how much pervy stuff that he does in this 24 episode series, and you go for Maren Kitagawa?
Listen, if Dark Schneider had a penis, he would suck it.
He would definitely.
But he doesn't have one. It got blown.
But yeah. But he's so pervy. How is that not your first inclination?
I gotta stop you for a second. Whatever you think about this anime, you have never seen a character crying about having his penis blown off before. That has never happened. And I gotta say, in a medium of entertainment that is very samey, where a lot of the same shit happens, that's the first time I've ever seen that. Unbelievable. And I can understand it. If I had my penis blown off, I'd be upset too. How about you, Caroline? If your penis was blown off, would you be upset?
I mean, I don't have a frame of reference, but I'm going to use my imagination and say yes. But seriously, he is a super perv. So he has done quite a few very gross things to women in many different places and times and situations. So I feel like I need say no more. You get the picture.
So being a pervy character isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think Mitz made that point with Maren. Like, is pervy is a good character. And that's kind of where my head was at for my pick of pervious anime character, which is a show I did not watch much of, to be fair. But I have to go with Vermeil from Vermeil in Gold, which is, as you would expect, from a big mommy milker, horny succubus.
Yeah, yeah.
And she lives up to the title.
I'm Googling this shit.
The whole show revolves around her trying to get some juicy, succulent power. And you know how she does that?
Semen?
Smooching.
Oh.
Holding hands. But she's like, you know what would make me really powerful? If we did the you know what? And the guy's like, no, we can't do it. That's not allowed. We're in school. And she's like, okay. But if you're ready, anytime, I'm here for you. And she's just constantly horny. Whether or not that has to do with her gaining immense, catastrophic, world-ending power, or just she likes it, that's up for you to decide. But she is she's just one of those good, wholesome, horny characters, and necessary for that show. I didn't watch it; it wasn't very good, but it's the succubus. What more do you want? You have to go with one succubus on the list.
There's nothing more that I want.
Technically, Maren is a succubus. She dressed up as one.
True. But she didn't have the sweater puppies that this lady did, so
that's true. There's nothing more that I want than I want. There's nothing more that I want than a succubus, ever. And this is not the last time a succubus will appear in this segment.
No, true. But she was probably one of the best succubus of last year.
She ain't bad. I would take Marin over her. Even Marin dresses... Well, no, I gotta say, a real succubus can never be outdone by a fake succubus. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
And I'm glad
What reasoning are you using?
Oh, it's just way hotter if it's a real succubus.
Remember what I said at the top of the show, Caroline? He's a close associate of Anime Satan. You think he doesn't have his voice?
I thought you said that a fake succubus is always better than a real succubus.
No,
listen,
OG.
No. Listen.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood. Now that all makes sense.
If it's a fake succubus, you have to use your imagination. You buy in. It's easier with a little inebriation, whatever. If it's a real succubus, shit is going down. Like, oh.
Well, if it's a real succubus, you're gonna die, so...
Oh, she's not gonna kill you.
That's how succubuses work.
I understand. And do you know what an incubus is? You might want to Google
I used to know.
It's an alt rock band from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yes, that's my first thought.
The next category is worst OP, for which I have nothing because I don't watch them. So next, Caroline.
Worst OP. I was thinking this would be a popular choice, but I see that Mitsugi does not remember. That would be Birdie Wing. Penis line.
I had subconsciously blocked it from my memory, but it's coming back now.
Yay!
Oh, it hurts so much. I must drink more. That anime is fucking
Lady Henry
anything more?
absolutely despises this OP. So she is she's celebrating in the comments for it getting the recognition it deserves.
It's just a terrible anime, and just an offensive sports anime too, to boot. And this won't be the last time that Birdie Wing appears in this segment either.
All right, Mason.
Yeah, worst OP. I went through a bunch of shows I had seen, even a bunch I hadn't seen, just to really get a flavoring for how much cred was out there. And there were a lot of close contenders, but I think after a lot of cross-examination, I have to give it to Shinobi no Itoki. That opening was awful musically, visually. It borrowed so many elements from so many other shows that they were all, like, all the worst OPs were borrowing the same shots as one another, and it was abysmal. And yeah, it was just, I could not make it through. I gave it 3 chances, and no time could I make it all 90 seconds of it. It was really bad. Don't recommend watching it, both the OP and the show, based on what I've heard. So, yeah, it was bad. That's all I got.
All right. Next up is biggest disappointment. Here's where I really piss people off. My biggest disappointment of last year was Demon Slayer Season 2.
You really had such high expectations?
Yeah, actually I did, because...
I thought you were like, pretty... Okay, Season 2's coming. It's probably going to be the same as Season 1.
Listen, Demon Slayer is so fucking overloved that I expect everything that comes out of Demon Slayer to change my life at this point. And it fails again and again to do so. But when a whole second season comes out of Demon Slayer after the first season came out, like, 3 or 4 years prior, I expect it to be pretty fucking good. And what I got was a short, like, narrative devoid, just pile of nothing. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I watched. We spent a whole season taking down, like, one demon and Nezuko's breasts. That's what we got out of Season 2 of Demon Slayer. And honestly, it was a huge disappointment. Nobody will ever admit it. It's going to be like a 9. It's probably got a 9 on my anime list for no reason. But it didn't contribute a whole lot to anything. I mean, it just wasn't really all that valuable, to be honest with you, and a big disappointment. So Demon Slayer Season 2. There were other candidates, of course, but, you know, if you want to be interesting, you got to be a little edgy, and so that's what I'm doing. Demon Slayer Season 2, not as good as you think it is.
Well, my biggest disappointment of 2022 is probably the very popular answer, The Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2, because
Terrible.
boy howdy. Mm-hmm. Well, first season, very well loved. After 9 years, I think, 10 years of waiting and waiting and not even expecting to get a second season, it finally says, "Oh, second season! Oh my God, it's gonna be so good! I'm so excited! Really liked season 1. It's been so long." So many people were absolutely jazzed to see the sequel season. And what did we get? We got whiny baby and going to an amusement park and playing house. And we got nothing of what made the first season entertaining. There was no humor or good comedic timing or fun character interactions. There was just nothing. So that really sucked and major disappointment. And it was not very good at all. And I want to add an honorable mention just to a personal one that I was excited for. I was really looking forward to watching Sabikui Bisco because I watched the first couple episodes. I'm like, oh, this looks so cool and unique and fun. I wasn't expecting high art or anything. I was expecting, holy shit, massive crab
Giant
and arrows
crab.
that shoot mushrooms and just wildness and fun. That's what I was expecting and wanting. But no, it really fell off the deep end and into a pool of lava, which apparently does not instantly kill someone. Yeah.
That anime.
So that was rough.
The anime fucking sucked.
I also
enjoyed
had
parts
it on
of
my
it.
list. You don't see it here, but it was an honorable mention because, man, it started off having character, a unique individual sense of itself, and you're like, man,
Yeah.
we're going to get something fresh and new and wild and just
Just turned
strap in.
stupid.
What are we going to get?
Stupid.
And you got just the most bland cafeteria food. Just fed
In
up.
terms with our Discord vocabulary, I would say it turned from big dumb fun to just big and dumb.
Mason,
And
you're
then
up.
dumb. Yeah, so I had a couple honorable mentions. Sabikui Bisco's one. Love All Play was another sports show that was like, it had potential. I'm like, oh, this like is gonna go somewhere, and it never did. And after like 12 episodes, I'm just like, come on, just stop. And it was just terrible. So that was disappointing. Obviously, 2 sequels that I kind of like season 1, but season 2 dropped the ball. Was Devil is a part-timer and Science Fell in Love. Both those had solid season 1s and just couldn't recapture it. Made in Abyss season 2 was kind of a big disappointment. Not the worst show ever, but season 1 hit so many high notes for me that this one was kind of bland. But the show that honestly, personally, just broke me was Pui Pui Molcar season 2. Everyone knows I love that stupid little cuddly felt show, and man, they brought it back. And it misses all the marks. There was no magic, no comedy. They brought in these weird human characters, and just every episode, besides episode 11, was just utterly terrible. And it was tragic what they did to my boy.
Episode 11
So,
though was
Episode
apparently
11
better.
was like pretty good, like on par with season 1, but everything else was trash. And yeah, Pui Pui did me dirty. Made me sad.
Betrayed.
We can move on.
All right.
The little mole cars.
Next up is most likely anime to make Caroline cover her eyes, or the Jelly Bean Award, Raggedy Doctor's creation, I guess, brought to you by Raggedy Doctor. And my winner of most likely to make Caroline cover her eyes is My Mom is a Succubus.
I haven't seen it, but I think you're completely
Jelly
right.
bean for more than one reason.
One of the juiciest, glossiest, most utterly... Listen, I tell you what. One only needs to say one word to just paint the whole picture. And Mason's gonna get this reference. And the word is T-Rex. Studio T-Rex, to be exact. Which is a hentai studio. My Mom is a Succubus is the best hentai of 2022, probably. And
Why
Caroline,
aren't hentai studios more creative with their names? Like, why don't they make themselves sound like a hentai studio? Because
Studio
they could do
T-Rex?
like Studio Big Boobs, Studio Sex,
the big
Studio This Is Awkward.
the big hentai studios are like Poro Petite, Pink Pineapple, T-Rex, Queen Bee, stuff like that.
I don't know these.
But this hentai is pretty. It's a pretty good hentai actually, but you would not enjoy it, Caroline.
I'm gonna guess no. What's it
yeah.
about?
It's about a guy
Did you read the title?
It's about a boy who summons a succubus in his bedroom, and it ends up being his mother, and he has sex with her many times.
Whoa, it's not just his mom though.
You
She's
watched
like,
this?
oh no, I can't believe it's my son. Let me go Clark Kent Superman style. Let me put on glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
That way he'll never recognize me.
Yeah.
And it works
glasses and wings and in like a weird outfit. Yeah. I don't know. We do hentai episodes, AAApodcast.com/join our Patreon. You want to hear us talk about my mom as a succubus? Get the hentai episodes. What do you want me to say?
I feel like going for an actual hentai is cheating for this category.
It's just my way of showing you my appreciation, Caroline.
Oh, of course.
Next up is Caroline.
Speaking of times that you've showed me your appreciation, the choice obviously has to be Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World,
Great
which
pick.
you forced me to watch a little
It's
bit
a
of.
great pick. Roxanne is a hot
I
piece
feel like
of ass.
I feel like this is the only answer that people would automatically go with. If you want to learn more about my thoughts on this show, you can watch our watch party that we did for an episode. I don't remember when it was. Wait a minute. It was our in the episode of the Bochi review. And I remember that specifically because I was like, this is a weird juxtaposition. A horrible, gross show with the review of a very low-key and wholesome kind of show.
Episode 659 if you're
there we go.
eager to play along.
Yeah, so you can watch that if you really want to know all my thoughts on the last episode, right? It was only one episode of that show, and it was uncensored, and it was very, very Jelly Bean worthy.
All right, and what do you have?
I just have Harem Labyrinth.
You also have Harem Labyrinth?
I did.
How could this be?
It was an obvious choice.
Pervious show that wasn't a hentai that we watched.
I was trying to find the Double Trouble drop that I used to have on here, but I can't find it. Where's my Double Trouble drop? Where's the Double Trouble drop featuring Vegeta?
It's in post.
It's in post, I guess. Yeah. That's so sad. I don't even see it in the list of files on here. There's like 1,200 audio files on this soundboard. I'm not even kidding.
Sounds like spring cleaning is in order.
It might be conservative. That might not be enough. Just to let you guys know how much production we do because we love you. Most likely anime to make Mason sad if you say it's your favorite. Well, I picked Shield Hero Season 2 because a lot of people probably watch this, and a lot of people are very excited about Shield Hero, but Shield Hero Season 2, like so many Season 2s, was fucking bad. And Mason, would you feel sad if you asked somebody, and if you found out that your new coworker was into anime, and you were like, oh my gosh, I like anime too. What is your favorite anime? And they said, Shield Hero Season 2. How disappointed are you?
I think I would be disappointed if he specified Season 2. Yeah. Because that would mean...
That's very strange.
Yeah, but I think if he said that, I'd be like, man, that's a really bad pick. So this will come up on my list later. Not for this category, but it will show up. So yeah, this is a really bad show. If someone genuinely thought Season 2 of Shield Hero was their favorite, I would be crippled with anxiety for their sense of taste.
I did like the turtle, because I like turtles. They're pretty cool. I used to see a lot of turtles when I used to mountain bike in Florida. Mm-hmm. But...
Ran over some?
No, but I did almost run over some armadillos. They tend to like to run. Armadillos are dumb. They freak out and run across the road like squirrels do on a road. They just like decide that it's like, I'm just gonna kill myself now, and they just run across. Armadillos will do the same thing, but they're like, I'm gonna run between your mountain bike tires like as you're riding, and you're like, holy shit, the fuck was that? Armadillos also supposedly carry leprosy, so you don't want to fuck with them, but. I'm not
Apparently
sure
that's a myth.
That might not be true. It sounds pretty bad, but
I All right. Well, for my anime that is most likely to make Mason sad, if you say it's your favorite, I kind of cheated with this one. I have a hard time remembering what infuriates Mason. So I went into our Excel sheet where we carry all of the scores. I did cheat a little bit. I'm sorry. It carries all the scores of the anime that we all do for review. And the lowest score Mason gave last year with 0.5 was
Oh, come on.
Bastard.
Was that the only 0.5 I gave?
I
think so.
I can't remember, but it was
think you're right.
definitely one of the very few 0.5s you've given.
Yeah. Yeah, Bastard was not one of my favorite shows.
Oh, come on.
I don't think it would make me sad, though, if someone said it was their favorite.
You hated Bastard more than Leodale?
Yes.
Wow.
Because it was a 2-core show.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even finish Bastard, technically, because I ran out of time.
If someone said their favorite was Bastard, like the new version, the 2022 Bastard, I actually don't think I'd be too sad. Because my brain would say they probably haven't seen much. It's on Netflix. They saw sexy anime ladies. They saw cool, badass dudes. And were like, yeah, I vibe with this. And I could see someone putting on Bastard and having a good time. So... I mean, I would...
From an elitist standpoint.
From an elitist standpoint, it would make me sad. And this is actually a really tough category for the ones I was thinking of. And I'm going to go with a very off-the-wall answer. But if you told me that your favorite anime was Yuri Deco, I would be sad.
The hell is that?
Exactly.
I'm like, what the
because
fuck
if
is
someone comes to me and they're like, oh, my favorite show is Demon Slayer Season 2, or My Hero Academia Season 6, or Bastard, or like any of these big popular shows, I'd be like, good for you. You know, you're probably just getting into anime, or you just know what you like, and that's fine. But if you like Yuri Deco, it means you are scrounging through all corners of the anime sphere, and you're watching everything that comes out because you're trying to find something new, and you're watching a lot, and you're picking the show that is terrible and disappointing. It means that you have unequivocally bad taste and opinions, and there's no saving you. I can work with the people who like shonens. I can work with the people who like isekais. The people who like the shows that no one watch, they're a lost cause, and God have mercy on their soul.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let them fucking know. Let them fucking know. You're sentenced to death for being a bad anime fan.
Yuri Deco was also one of the most disappointing shows.
All right, real quick. This is the last category we can do.
Really? We can't speed run?
Speed run? What's the point of that?
Speed run.
You can't
There's so much fun to be had. The people need answers.
Oh my god. Most likely anime to make Mitz's hair fall out. That's the next category. We'll do a speed run.
Okay.
Made in Abyss Season 2. It fucking sucked. I hated it. Now, what do you got, Caroline?
Anime to make Mitz's hair fall out. Call of the Night. You were really hurting with that one. Falling asleep so hard.
I basically have a vampire fetish, and I've never been more limp.
Mason.
There were so many to choose from. I went with Ryakuma's Theme Park Adventure. It's like a stop motion.
What is that?
Soft. I'm trying to get your jelly beans up to a max. It's a really just cute show. A bunch of bears and critters go into a theme park and they go on adventures. And Mitz would just cry himself to sleep.
Hey,
if you
I
had
would
to
just
watch
hate it.
You would absolutely despise it.
Yeah. Call of the Night. Wow. Caroline is so tough now. Like I literally just I said I was limp, and Caroline laughed. 2 years ago, she would have been like, oh. And now it's like...
I've grown strong.
We've broken you.
Okay, speed round.
Blandest show. For me, I looked at our reviews. Executioner and Her Way of Life. I can't remember.
It wasn't that bland. It had character.
The reason why I put it here is because I can't remember a single thing about this anime. Nothing.
How rude.
And I watched it.
I thought the question was blandest. It was just blandest in the category, so I thought it was blandest character. But the question, or the answer is still the same. Kelvin from Black Summoner, super duper bland. You gave it a 3.5, Mitsuki.
Did
3.5. It makes absolutely no sense, and I question your taste.
Maybe it was great. I
it was
think
horrible.
I think Bastards
so stupid and boring.
But I think Bastards a 3.5, and you guys hate it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't hate Bastard. It's so much more entertaining than Black Summoner.
All right, next, Mason.
Blandest Shield Hero Season 2.
All right, next category. Next category is anime that will make Mitz fall asleep. And my nominee was Spy Family. Yeah.
Really? That's the one?
Yep. Because watching little girls do fucking arts and crafts as a 37-year-old man is not really in my wheelhouse.
Well, speaking of which, my answer is do it yourself.
Oh no, my God.
Oh no! Smile.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I don't want to give away I don't want to bury the lead.
Oh, I think everybody knows. But Mason.
Yeah, Smile of Arnestornia or Arsnatoria or whatever that boring show is where girls just sit around and have tea parties and they tease out, oh, there's a big event happening, and then it never happens.
All right. And then finally, the anime that will make you give up on anime forever. For me, Birdie Wing. Because
that's the one.
Listen, as a person who has put hundreds of hours into golf video games, all I've ever wanted is a high-quality anime about golf. And they fucking ruined it. They fucking ruined it, and I hate them. I don't know who the studio is, but I hate them. I hate you. Next.
My choice was Harem and the Labyrinth of Another World. Not only an absolutely terrible anime, but a terrible title. And I only watched one episode, and that made me want to question why I watch anime in the first place. So there it is.
And Mason.
Yeah, for me, it was Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. Brought nothing new to the table. Was a sign that anime is stagnant and going to die.
Damn.
That was it?
That's rough.
Hate. Welcome to the player haters ball.
Yeah, but these are all bad anime, and if you're gonna bitch about it on iTunes and be like, I hate you, 1 out of 5, like, you're gonna give me a 1 out of 5 because you love Genius Prince?
At least these are the ones that we remember. They were memorable in some way.
All right, guys, we're gonna go to a news break now, and then we'll have more later. But Caroline, what's the in-show trivia question?
The in-show weekly trivia question is, what crucial part of the treehouse did the DIY club have to save up money for and do it yourself? We will reveal the answer after the news break.
Anime Addicts, Mitsugi is here, and I'm bringing you your anime news break. Getting us started off with the most beloved manga characters of 2022, according to Book Live's Magetami Award for honoring manga characters, which were announced this past Wednesday. Best lead male character goes to Dai Miyamoto from Shinichi Ishizuka's Blue Giant. I'm not a big manga reader, so I'm probably not going to recognize any of these characters. Best lead female character, Inori Yuitsuka from Tsurumaikata's Medalist. Best supporting character, Chifuyu Matsuno from Tokyo Revengers. Best supporting female actor, Ai Haibata from Detective Conan. Best newcomer, Rudo from Kei Urana's Gachiakuta. And the special award goes to Chiikawa from Nagano's Chiikawa. So if you're a fan of manga, celebrate or write those names down. You may want to pick up some of these properties and check them out. Next up in the news is some exciting Anime Expo information that I won't be able to take advantage of, but I recommend you do. The Shin Megami Tensei 30th anniversary is going to be getting a concert at Anime Expo. Shin Megami Tensei Shoji Meguro's music is quite fantastic, from the Shin Megami Tensei series to Persona, Devil Summoner, etc., etc., etc. Some of this music is fantastic. They've been doing lots of concerts all over Japan for years now, and they are quite a spectacle. And if they're anything like that, and I doubt they will be at that scale, but you will be able to check out maybe some Shihoko Hirata or Lotus Juice at these concerts. Anime Expo is going to be on July 1st, and there is going to be a live Band of Shadows concert, which will be part of the Expo's 2023 programming lineup. So I recommend it. If you're going to Anime Expo, you'll want to check out this concert, because You may have to go to Japan otherwise to see something like this, and I highly recommend it for you. Next up, Mahou Shoujo ni Akogarete is getting a TV anime, or Gushing Over Magical Girls. The synopsis is about a Utena, yes, I said it, Utena, who has always looked up to magical girls and fantasized about transforming into a cool magical girl herself. So, when a doll-like figure approaches her one evening, claiming that she has magical powers lying dormant within her, she's really excited. And her colorful dream of becoming a magical girl is, although shattered, when the events turns out that she becomes a villain. Oh my goodness. So, if you're a fan of magical girl anime, and probably just a shit ton of moe, you can only imagine, look out for this coming out sometime soon, probably this year. And at the polar opposite of this, the manga Kinniku Man, or Muscle Man, is getting a new anime series. This is an extremely old property. Kinniku Man, the manga, ran from 1979 to 1987, and it's more of like your typical superhero type. Kid Muscle is lazy and cowardly, and he's more interested in snacking than fighting, but he's also the son of the legendary intergalactic wrestler King Muscle, and when evil threatens the galaxy, the kid's true muscles bulge through. That's the synopsis coming from my anime list. So if you're a fan of this follow-up to the 137 episode series that aired from 1983 to 1986 from Toei Animation, look out for more Kinniku Man coming your way. And this was Mitsugi. This was your anime news break, and now time to get back to the podcast. You've been waiting nearly 13 years, but the podcast has gone the distance. We have launched our podcast merchandise store, www.aashop.info. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, and more, nearly at cost, because we want you to spread the word, not empty your pockets. So help spread the word that you're an anime addict and get yourself some Anime Addicts merch over at www.aashop.info. That's www.aashop.info. Welcome back to the podcast, episode 669. What crucial part of the treehouse did the DIY club have to save up money for? The answer is the tree attachment bolts. The fuck is that?
Tabs. It's basic. Were you not paying attention? It's a gigantic screw that supports the treehouse. Very crucial if you don't want to fall out of it. And it basically supports the entire thing. And we got some correct answers in the chat today. So congratulations to those who answered.
The tree attachment bolts are things that you use to attach things to trees?
You put the bolt into the tree so that it is stable and the planks don't just fall.
What a stupid fucking anime.
You can't just put a nail into a tree.
Oh, you can.
And expect it to support a whole freaking treehouse. That was the main thing that they were trying to get throughout the second half of the show.
I was just praying the treehouse would burn down, to be honest with you. All right, and now as we do on so many episodes, it's time for Mason's Unexplored Pictures, where you will learn about a movie, whether you like it or not. Are you ready, Mason?
I am.
Get your popcorn ready. It's time for Unexplored Pictures with Mason.
With all the bad shows we talked about in that last segment, I figured let's talk about a good movie today. And this is a really short one because so many people talk about, oh, I don't have time for movies. I don't have time. They're so hard to find. So I made this one super easy. This is actually not really an anime, but it has an anime-inspired part in it. So I'm making it count. And it's just a very fun name to say. The name of this movie is
What, like Kill
My
Bill?
Year... No, not quite. My Year of Dicks.
Yeah.
This is adult animated short film. It's 24 minutes long.
Wow.
You used to be able to watch it on Hulu. You can find it for free on Vimeo as of right now. This is actually an Academy Award nomination for Best Animated Short Film. It's created by Pamela Ribon from her critically acclaimed memoir called Notes to Boys and Other Things I Shouldn't Share in Public. And it is a super short film that really highlights the power of animation. How you can take a story that is grounded and realistic and interesting and expand how hard it hits and how visually interesting it can be with animated production. And it is fantastic. I highly recommend checking it out. It takes place in the early 90s near Houston, Texas. And it is a story of Pamela, this 15-year-old person, trying to become the woman that she sees. She imagines herself as being a woman, and in her mind, the path to get there is by losing her virginity. And it essentially is a story of like 4 or 5 chapters as she goes from one boy to another, trying to find the right person to, make that leap and, fully realize herself. And each chapter ends and begins with, some crushing disappointment or lesson or, way of thinking about herself in the world that grows her in some way. And it's great. It's really good. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a lot of dicks in a lot of different contexts, and I highly recommend it. It's only 24 minutes. It's really good. It didn't win, but it's better than the winner. And it doesn't have actual dicks like some of the other nominations, which are also pretty good. The Flying Sailor is pretty funny, and that definitely got a dick in it. So check out this short. It's pretty good.
Is it like explicit or
no?
uncensored
There's no nudity. I wouldn't watch it like with your kids or anything, but it's safe to watch, but it is very adult in topic and some of the moments, and it makes you think, and it has some great voice acting. And there is definitely chapter 3. There's some anime in it, so I'm making it count.
I wonder what that means.
Give it a shot. I don't know. That's it. Just quick and easy. If you have time to listen to the show, you have time to watch this movie and realize, oh yeah, animation can be so many more things than what the past 50 shows that we just ragged on can offer. And that's it. Moving on to mailbags.
You better lock.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime.
Mailbag. I've never banned somebody on Twitch before, but that was fun. Oh my god! All right, so if you want to leave a
You were
mailbag,
just talking about the Dish Network, right?
he's like, "Why aren't you talking about how Dish Network got hacked?" I'm like, "Who gives a fuck? This is an anime podcast. Are we think I'm really going to talk about Dish Network, who is, by the way, one of the worst companies to work for in America? Jesus, good lord! If you want to leave a mailbag, go to aaapodcast.com/mailbag. You can leave all sorts of stuff there. You can leave your Shark Tanks, your mailbags, your hentai mailbags, your topic requests. Just all sorts of stuff. Just go check it out. aaapodcast.com/mailbag. All right. Kim1201 writes, I've been listening to the podcast for over a year now. Thank you very much. But I'm not very active on the Discord. Wow, that sucks. But I'm new to the community. First, I wanted to thank Caroline for organizing the 2022 Secret Santa. It was a blast, but I didn't have time to engage with the discussion after the gifts were exchanged, so I'm not sure who to thank for the great recommendation. Whoever you are, thank you for recommending Parasite. I'll start it soon. Also, I just moved to Japan. I'll be here for a year, so if you have any advice about life in Japan or great anime-related things to do, please let me know. I'll be going to Anime Japan in March, and I went to Mandarake and Animate. Of course, I'm planning a trip to the Studio Ghibli Museum as well. What's next? Again, thank you so much for all you do. If you come to Japan, I'll be here. Caroline, what do you think?
Well, as someone who has never been to Japan, I'm not very suitable to answering that question, but I can talk about Secret Santa because we do have the Excel sheet that says whose Secret Santas were whose. It's in the graveyard at the moment on Discord, but it's still technically available if you go scroll all the way down and you find the old channel. So, yes, you are very welcome. Secret Santa was very fun, and your Secret Santa was Izzy Sensei on Discord. So, if you want to send them a message, I'm sure they will appreciate it.
For me, I'm not really sure if you're looking for living in Japan type advice or anime tourism advice. If you're looking for anime tourism, I'd say the Totoro Forest is a pretty strong move. If you want to walk up a brisk hill someplace west of Tokyo and have a lunch to reenact Yamano Susume. You see how I threw that dig in there? Oh my god. Unbelievable. A brisk hill. Wow. Woo! Anyway, I'd also recommend Odaiba. I thought Caroline would get more mad about that.
Oh, I wasn't actually paying attention.
I made fun of Yamano Musume.
Oh, I mean, I don't think I watched that.
Oh, okay. I'd also recommend
but Jelly Bean, and that's the last Jelly Bean.
Yeah.
Woo! End of an era.
End of an era. I'd also recommend Odaiba Island. Honestly, there's just a lot of fun, nerdy shit to do there. As for living in Japan, you might want to look into getting your own Suica card for train usage. It just makes trains a lot easier. Also, the Hyperdia app is really good for navigating Japan's train system. You can get it on your cell phone. It's free. And also, and most importantly, get a supply line from the United States going for things that we use that they don't really have in Japan. Namely, Japan's toothpaste is fucking worthless. Like, you might as well not even use toothpaste. Like, their toothpaste doesn't even have, like, fluoride in it. Like, I mean, and Japan isn't exactly known for having great teeth. There might be a reason for that. So go get yourself like a parent or somebody, or a sister or brother who can send you some real fucking toothpaste, maybe some Benadryl, so like when you're having an allergic reaction to something, you don't like just die.
Are you allowed to send meds through the mail?
Technically not. I think Benadryl is illegal in Japan actually, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. So just do it anyway. Deodorant that doesn't suck because Japan doesn't have deodorant with antiperspirant in it, so you just like sweat all over yourself. And if you're in Japan, you're probably teaching. And you should know that Japanese schools do not have air conditioning, and it's hot as fuck in Japan in like 6 months of the year. So you are literally going to be in hell for 6 months of the year, and the last thing you want to do is have a river of sweat flowing down your fucking torso. So go get yourself some deodorant with some antiperspirant in it. And also, don't ever go to a dentist in Japan. They are absolutely horrendous. A dentist in Japan is so focused on like social harmony that they literally won't tell you that you have a cavity if you do until it's like giant, and then they'll tell you. But it's like, no, fix my fucking cavity when it's the size of a grain of sand, not when it's
That's like the exact opposite of how it is here. Yeah. Like, dentists will tell you if there's any single little thing they can do in there to make money, even if your cavity is not even concerning. If it's barely even a cavity, they will tell you and you say like, oh, you have to get this fixed.
It's something I'm not a dentist, but I think that you're better off fixing the cavity before it becomes a canyon.
Oh, sure, but I'm not going to be dropping hundreds of dollars for cavities that barely exist.
What? All right. You could always
People
wait till
will do that. Dentists will nickel and dime you.
Well, yeah, they're not as bad as a veterinarian.
What about a vet dentist?
Yeah.
What about cavities in your pet's teeth?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Have you ever tried to get your dog's teeth cleaned? It's like $2,000. So good luck with that.
I've never had a dog, so no.
Well, maybe you're better off because a vet will just rob you until you're bankrupt. So a tooth cleaning, $68. I just got quoted for that the other day. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I could give you a lot more, but we would take up the whole episode. What do you got, Mason?
Yeah, I mean, I know a year in Japan is going to sound like, oh, I've got all day, I've got so many months to get this. No, it's going to go by fast. It always goes by
Yeah.
fast. Start exploring, make the most of it now. Word on the street is this whole new Ghibli museum just opened up, a whole theme park. Check it out. I haven't gone. That sounds cool. Let us know how it is. Good luck.
Do the things that we have yet to do.
Yeah, exactly. Join the Discord and be active and ask there,
That's
and
so
people will
true.
give you tons of suggestions.
I'd love to hear about that theme park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thanks for writing.
Well, we have come to the moment of truth.
Yes. Our review of Do It Yourself.
Oh, no.
So this is a fall 2022 anime. I passed it in episode 649. I can't remember if that's the same episode I did the impression of it or the episode that I passed it in, because the thing is that initially I did not pass the show. I had expected to pass something else, but nothing really better came up, so I decided to retroactively pass it. So here's where to watch it. You can watch it on Crunchyroll, and the synopsis is: in the midst of the fourth industrial revolution, cutting-edge technology has rapidly developed, and so has school curriculums. But in one school's DIY club, they go back to the roots of innovation through scraps and creativity. The club is under pressure due to lack of members, of course. But the ones who stick around try to revitalize the club through building their own treehouse. This includes our main character, the accident-prone and appropriately named Yua Serufu. Mitsuki's hiding his face right now. He hates it so much. So, the director is Kazuhiro Yoneda, who directed Akatsuki no Yona, which is interesting because it's also the director of Gleipnir. So,
God, Gleipnir's a fucking masterpiece compared to this shit.
Okay. What a massive anime this person has worked on. It's very strange. Studio Pine Jam did it. It's an original anime. So going into it, I liked what the show was doing in the first few episodes when I did my impression, but some of the characters were a bit grating on me. Serufu is okay, but her ditziness can be a little much. Purin is a little tsundere that I just could not like, especially at the beginning. Jobko is Jobko, and et cetera, et cetera. I'll get into that more in the spoiler-free recommendation. But overall, I was a little bit hesitant going back into the anime because I liked sort of what it was doing, but there were things I was concerned about. Mitsuki.
I want to know what possessed you to pass this.
It has good production values.
Does it?
Yes.
It does.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's all anybody cares about. Oh, is it pretty? Oh, is it pretty? Yes or no? Yes.
It's fun. It's cute.
This anime.
I like the setting.
Okay, what did I expect from this anime? I wrote moe and pure suffering. That's exactly what I wrote on the document. Next.
Yeah, so my initial expectations were mixed. Pine Jam, the studio, tends to take on potentially interesting shows. They usually have good production, but they usually don't pan out well. They either end up aggressively average, like Kageki Shoujo or Just Because, or aggressively awful, like Gamers or Gleipnir. I had heard generally good things about this one, so I was like, what are we going to get? Maybe something good. Maybe it's finally going to come together. So I was excited.
All right. So spoiler-free recommendations. I'll continue what I was going to say before. Jobko is excessively annoying. Like, her English is so horrible in the sub. And I don't know if that's on purpose or not. It's just so grating and annoying. And honestly, some of the characters that are canonly Japanese speak English probably better than she does. So she was a major factor of me being afraid getting back into it. So was the cat girl who goes meow, like meow,
the cat girl
all the
who
time,
isn't a
and
cat
I
girl?
hate that. Yeah, the girl who acts like a cat
The
girl.
cat girl
I call
who's
them
a
Nyan
ninja.
girls. Yeah. So she seemed annoying too. Purina is like okay, but she did get better for me as the show went on. I still don't understand her tsundere-ness, but I liked her by the end. And overall, I thought the group as a whole was fun and entertaining, and I liked them as a whole. Individually is another story, but I thought it was fairly enjoyable. It was cute, and honestly, it might inspire someone to take up making something on their own. I'm not saying that it's like as easy as they make it look in the anime, but still, it's and I always thought that it was kind of an interesting setting. Like, oh, we got all these drones going around. It's so very like you see new scientific inventions really taking a place in their studies and all that. But here they have the Do It Yourself Club, and it's a little cute, relaxing setting for it. I wish that there was more of this whole setting involved in the plot, because it seems like something that they just have as a cherry on top, like all these drones flying around, but it really doesn't impact much of the show. But yeah, that was one thing I was kind of wanting more for. There isn't much plot, but Iyashiki fans won't mind. It's just how it is. And yeah, overall, I thought it was a fairly good anime that if you like just something calm and not all that involved, this one is a good one.
Let me tell you how dumb this anime is. There's a point in this show where, all right, well, I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why this show is really fucking stupid. First of all, the main character's name is Yourself. Because it's it's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm 37. How am I supposed to watch an anime where the character's name is Yua Serufu and buy into this fucking thing? I mean, all right, so Jesus, it's like a facepalm, honestly. And they say it so proudly, like they're being so clever with it, by the way. It's not even a fucking Japanese name. It's just ridiculous. So this girl, Yua Serufu, which is just brutal to say, is third smartest person in her whole class at school. She gets the third highest from the top grade. And she gets into this like do-it-yourself club. And the main character, more or less the main character, I guess whatever, the redheaded girl, whatever the fuck her name is.
Ray,
whatever, the lanky redheaded girl that looks like the Fruits Basket dude's sister.
Just based on hair alone.
Oh, they're pretty similar, pretty fucking similar.
Okay.
She's literally drilling. She like pulls a power drill out and she's gonna drill a screw into a piece of wood or something. And Yua Serufu acts like it's the most incredible fucking thing she's ever seen in her life, as if this 15-year-old girl has never seen a goddamn fucking power drill. Are you fucking kidding? Are you retarded?
Let's also think about
No!
Let's also think about the setting, Mitsuki. This is a setting where everything is very technologically advanced, so maybe she hasn't had a lot of experience seeing construction tools. Bob the Builder might not be a thing in this universe.
I just unhooked my headphones, so I couldn't hear anything you said because I threw a can of soda across the room.
Okay, that was unnecessary.
There is no situation where you can defend the fact that a 15-year-old girl doesn't know what a fucking power drill is.
Yo, I just did. Do you not? Okay, you did not pay attention to what I said.
No, I didn't hear you because my headphones were unplugged.
Okay, so let me pay attention. So here we go. I mentioned that this setting is the fourth industrial revolution, where they might not have a lot of power drills just roaming around town.
This motherfucking girl.
Bob the Builder was not a thing in this world.
This fucking girl, Rei Yasaku, whatever the fuck, is like driving down the street with a fucking pair of motorized shoes, and you're telling me that this girl is going to be blown out of her fucking mind because she's never seen a power drill put a screw into a piece of wood?
She's a ditz, okay.
She's the third smartest person in her class.
Doesn't mean she can't be ditzy.
These characters are fucking idiots. You have a girl that acts like a cat girl who has the IQ of a piece of bread. Yua Serufu.
Obviously not, because she's in the very elite school for the intelligent.
Yeah. They're in it's definitely a special school. All right. Okay. You got U.S.
The
Sotofu.
only character that did not do well on her tests was Rei herself.
You're not helping the case in this anime.
What do you mean? I'm defending.
They act like they're fucking dumb. They act like they came out of a goddamn time capsule from 1810. Okay? U.S. Sotofu is this dumb fucking character who acts dumb as shit and is constantly covered with band-aids because she can't do anything, including...
She can't.
Including not even know what a fucking power drill is. You got Queen Juliet, as it said, the job code, Queen Juliet Elizabeth, whatever the fuck, who thinks she's fucking Ed from Cowboy Bebop, is the most moe and simultaneously tsundere, insufferable piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. You've got Miku.
You didn't even listen to the sub.
You got yes, I did, and you got Miku. There's no dub. There's no dub.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
The anime was so trash, such a pile of trash, that it wasn't worth dubbing. The only dub that exists for this is Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, so I didn't fucking watch it. Miku Suride is a bitch who acts like a bitch the whole show, and then at the end acts like she's a friend of U.S. Sotofu, even though she's not. And Koki Kokoro, who of course her name would mean heart in Japanese, is a goddamn cat girl who can't even bother to keep her ears and tail on.
She's not even Japanese.
It doesn't matter. It's just these characters are just awful. Moving on. Where was I?
I take it you would not recommend this
show.
No,
this anime is
spoiler-free recommendation.
I would recommend this anime to the same crowd that likes K-On! Or like dumb as fuck cute girl animes doing dumb shit. To adults, no. You could never recommend this anime to an adult because it's about little.
I liked it as an adult.
It's about little fucking babies doing little baby things. And by the way, is this an original anime? Oh,
it is.
Beautiful. An original anime where the story is we don't have 5 members for our club, so our club's gonna get shut down. Ain't very original. I've seen 37 fucking anime with the same goddamn plot line. They've done it for every type of club that could possibly exist. Card clubs, music clubs, do-it-yourself clubs, sports clubs, everying.
I feel
Cooking
like the
clubs.
gin is talking. This isn't you.
Yes. No, I'm not even drunk. But to people with a half salvageable intelligence in the age of TikTok and Instagram, where we go home and spend an average of 90 minutes a day watching fucking TikTok, I also wouldn't recommend this because you need to retain some brain cells when you're watching this anime. And but the people who like watching dumb shit nonsense, yes, I would recommend it. The funny thing is,
I didn't think it was that bad. Jeez. Please. Okay, Mason.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but people want me to explode. Oh. They want me to explode. They haven't saying
this was just to feed the audience.
No, this anime is stupid.
You meant nothing.
Your main character.
You loved this show more than anything else. Okay, listen, Mason.
We'll get to more later.
So, yeah, Mitz is a big baby. If a show doesn't fall into his wheelhouse, he raises a big fuss about it being bad, falsely equates intelligence with knowing what power equipment is, talks about the flaws of modern anime. Oh, they don't have the big boobs I like. All the blah, 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 blah. Nonsense. Nonsense. Mitz doesn't know what he's talking about. As usual, I roll my eyes, I let Mitz be Mitz, and I just try to enjoy the variety that this wonderful medium has to offer. But not this time. This time he's right. This was a tough watch.
Oh, come on, Mason.
Would not recommend the show. Don't get me wrong. The show starts off.
Mitsuki's running around the room pantsless.
It starts typical. Yeah, it's a club room show. We've seen this formula 1,000 times, but it's interesting. It's really strong visually, and it lays the groundwork of this unique, like, technological rivalry between, like, this hyper modern futuristic era and doing things, old school style. And this show earnestly made me want to build things. I was like, oh yeah, if they can build a coat hook, they can do a bookshelf. Yeah, I want to get out there. I want to get involved. Like, this show inspired me to look into that stuff. And in that regard, it succeeded. But man, this show dropped off so hard and so soon because it was so repetitive with this go nowhere dialogue. It never delivered interesting characters. Like, it's a one thing to quote unquote hate fun. I get it, but this show came off so disgustingly artificial and simultaneously like cloying with no payoff. Like it perpetually did nothing with its solid production, and it was a chore to get through. I don't think anyone knows what do-it-yourself means in the show because they failed to live up to their ethos constantly, and it was just... I wanted to like it. I see the good things about the show, but I really disliked it.
And also, all right, we'll get to it, but inventing artificial problems to try to create drama in a show that honestly has no conflict whatsoever. Where your conflict is someone moved our pile of wood. Let us slip into a dark black pit of despair.
Why would they ever put that near a dump site? Why would they... Okay, we should probably move on into spoiler
Nothing
territory, even
happened
though
in the
there's
show, but we're about to spoil it.
Yeah,
so
this is where we get into more of the details.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
Look, this
As
isn't...
I was saying.
Oh yes, please continue.
Why the hell would anyone, no matter what day trash day is, put their scrap pieces of wood in the dump site? Why would they do that? Anywhere else? Anywhere? Leave a sign so people don't accidentally take it or throw it out. This is all you had to do.
The problem with this anime, above everything else, besides the... All right, the biggest problem is that it does fucking nothing. But besides that, the characters in the show and the conflicts that they develop are just trash. I mean, like, honestly, there's no conflict in this anime that will make the story interesting. So we're going to leave all our building supplies next to, like, the burn pile or the dumpster, and someone takes it away, and then we're going to, like, all slip into this black despair like the world just ended because I can't, I don't know, like, build my treehouse as if you were really going to build a treehouse.
I can understand why they would be upset. Like, have you ever... Okay, in your video game, Mitsuki, you were playing this video game, you spent so long grinding, collecting tools and all these other things. You are ready to defeat the final boss, and before you know it, boom, you die in a stupid way, and you have to do it all over again. Would you not feel absolutely pissed?
Well, video games aren't really like that anymore. They tend to, like, auto-save you. You don't really go back very far.
Who cares? We're going back in time.
It's just that the characters in this anime are so beyond stupid. Like we can pretend like 15-year-old girls are supposed to not know what a power drill is, but in this modern world where the internet has made kids mentally 5 years older than they otherwise would have been like 30 years ago because they're seeing and being exposed to things that they never would be exposed to at like the age of 12, for example. There isn't a single 15-year-old in the whole of the United States that is going to flip a fucking shit over a power drill. And if you think there is, think there is, you've been living in a basement because no 15-year-old, including myself, who was born way before either of you, was ever in their life even one time surprised by a fucking power drill. It has never happened, it never will happen, and it'll never happen again because it isn't interesting. So quit acting like it's this amazing revelation of life that a power drill exists.
I'm not saying that, but you are really focusing on something silly.
Well, it's because the characters in this anime are fucking retarded.
Seeing a power drill, you know, Seirufu, would you ever trust this girl?
She's the third smartest person in her class. I trust her more than the cat girl.
She's going to kill somebody with this power drill. There would be no way, as a parent, I would introduce her to any sort of
amazement with
tool.
the power drill is not that it is a power drill and that it spins. It is the realization of, with simple tools, I too can create magical things. It is I, within my own hands, within my surroundings, can fabricate a world and items that I want. And I think that is the magical part she is drawn to. That's the generous interpretation of it.
Did you watch this anime? That literal scene where I'm talking about, she was literally she was putting a bolt into like a piece of wood for no particular reason. It wasn't like the finishing touch on the first ever combustion engine.
I'm with you. I'm giving it a generous reading because
very
in my mind, like, their stupidity isn't what held me back. It's the fact that their characters in a show like this, it's okay not to have much plot. It's okay to not have much conflict. But your characters and their development are paramount. They get pushed to the forefront because that's all you have to stand on. And the characters here were... You could watch episode 1 and episode 12, and there would be no change across almost every character. They were very stagnant beings that added not much characterization or personality or life. For the most part, it was just unneeded characterizations of the English girl who was just a child, who generally just became less of an annoying child, and Miku, who is a terrible friend, and everyone else loved the DIY club. Like, I thought the whole point is, we have new technology, why do we need the old crummy way of doing things? And that was her mindset. And I thought we were going to get kind of that conflict of ideology of how do we make the stuff, new or old. And everyone in the new school was like, yeah, no, DIY is awesome, it's cool, it's fun, let's do, and they built stuff. And she was the only, like, stalwart who was just like, no, I don't like it for no reason, and I'm gonna hate all these people. Like, I get that's like a severe take on it, but no one needed to be convinced DIY was cool. Like, this show was at its best when these were just nameless meat sacks that just built things. I was into that part. Anything else, they were just bland, and I wasn't connected. They were so aggravating, and they just explained things. Have you ever seen a character? Miku came into Surfu's room and explained to her something, and Surfu was like off in her little headspace dreaming, which is fine. And so Miku re-explained the entire thing, re-exposited everything, and it was just like, really why are we repeating this? I'm paying attention. I'm the viewer. I'm here. Don't treat me like a baby. And every time there was any difficulty, I get the lesson is you don't have to do it yourself. You know, you have teammates. We're a group. We can do it ourselves, kind of thing. But no, like, Surfu didn't expand. She could moderately put in a bolt. That was it. That's all she developed because she was never forced to, like, learn. And, oh, we ran out of wood. Let's have our parents come and help us. Let's have these old club members. Like, they never rose to the challenge. And I get it's a fun, relaxing show where they just build stuff. I get that. But it's not engaging. Like, there was, I don't know, it just fell flat in so many ways, besides great character animation and a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, the characters, I feel like that's the weak point in this show. Jobko is just really, really annoying, as I mentioned several times before. I mean, she does have somewhat of a backstory that they do mention at the very end, which probably would have been best to, like, carry over amongst some episodes so that we can, I don't know, get more interest in her over time. Shin was annoying, or like Kokoro, or whatever her name is. Yeah, she's a bit annoying too, but not, like, terrible.
At least she didn't break into people's houses.
Like, Purin is a situation. I don't understand her. She's such a massive tsundere that I don't understand why. Like, she's just a terrible friend to Serafu. Like, I don't understand why she keeps putting her down so frequently over the first half of the show, and then getting annoyed that Serafu doesn't give her, like, her utmost attention all the time. It doesn't make any sense. Like, do you want to hang out with this girl, or do you not want to hang out with this girl? Because it seems like it's both. Somehow.
That's her character development, is she learns to speak her mind, which is a good lesson. But
you need to make it understandable. Like, I want to understand her, but I just don't. And she's a real bitch. I gotta say, she's better by the end, and I like her, and and everyone is just so cute in the OP. They're singing together. They're doing stuff. I did not like the OP. What? The OP is so cute.
The soundtrack of the show was pretty good. The OP and a lot of the Foley in the show was just whack. It was blah. I couldn't get into it. It was just so
catchy.
Yeah, it was catchy, but man, it was so saccharine and so... It was trying so hard to be what it was. And yeah, it was that way, but man, oh man, it was annoying.
Hey, Caroline.
That's not a good take. What?
I like the OP.
Yeah! No. Go, Mitsuki!
The group of them singing...
Now, I didn't like the fact that it was a song made for the anime. Which is annoying. Because it just makes the song...
I don't get it.
Because it's stupid. It's like you're listening to...
they're not going to pan out money every single time they want to make an opening. To some sort of company to use a song from a band.
I mean, these are like...
Especially when they want to use something specific.
With all due respect for the bands that anime use, like these aren't exactly like Elton... It's not exactly Elton John we're talking about here. These are like dumpster level, no-name bands that no one's fucking heard of. They're never going to sell a gold album even or anything. Like, it's not exactly a lot of money. I mean, most of these bands are probably doing it for free because they're trying to get their name out there. So I don't really know that they're spending a lot of money. It might even cost more money to make the song for the show. At least you have to hire somebody. If I was a band that had no record sales and I was trying to get out there, I'd let Bastard do my fucking OP for free. What the fuck do I care? I don't know. But regardless,
I still don't get your hatred of specifically made OPs.
Because
it's not dumb. It's a good song.
It's always dumb. They're always putting like the words of the show in the song or like making it cheesy and corny. The point is that like I thought the opening was good because I liked the animation of the opening, not necessarily the song. Like I thought it was kind of cute how they were like jamming with like the paint rollers and stuff like that. And
the character animation of the show is phenomenal. There's no debate about that.
Well,
I never understood why Serafu was the only one with the white mouth, though. That was the one thing I kept on wondering about. It's like everyone else has like the flesh-colored, mouths that are very common in anime, but Serafu's the only one with white, and I'm like, that's a little weird looking. I'm not sure why they chose that.
I want to know how much money all these girls spent on their hair, on their hair styling to get the underside of all their hair to be a totally different color than the top side.
I doubt that's how it is in their world. They're just shading it different.
I happen to know that a woman can easily spend $300 on a haircut. So
I know it myself.
So they must have spent like $600-$700 a piece to get that underside of that hair to look like that. It's amazing. Like
it's a stylistic thing.
Think of all the power equipment they could have bought, all the wood they could have bought if they only if they only hadn't spent so much time on their hair.
The thing is that they don't buy the wood, Mitz. They gotta find it themselves.
I know.
Do it yourself.
No, they don't find it themselves. They get the past club members to donate it all.
Still, you don't buy it, as they have mentioned several times.
That's true. It just was an artificial thing. I don't mind what happened to the treehouse. I don't mind how their projects went. They just, as characters, did not grow, did not develop, and there was just, it didn't teach me anything. I didn't learn anything. I didn't grow, just like the characters. It was just a static experience the entire way through.
Well,
I did learn how they stabilize tree houses. That's the one thing I did.
Yeah, have their parents do it for them.
Yeah, I guess
it would be.
But there are some things you just can't trust 15-year-olds to do.
Yeah, and that's fair. It's better to have them chew up the club room and like take away panels of the flooring and walls, because that's a good solution.
Yeah, that was a wild.
Like that's
solution.
a safety thing. I mean, I know they moved the table on it after, but like I get that you want to present things properly, but you also had these ladies using power saws with sandals on. Like, at least get like, I get safety, I get doing it yourself. Like, it's a delicate balance, and you can nitpick one way or another. But there's just so many moments that, while well executed visually, I think just fell flat.
Yeah,
like, I didn't need them going to the beach and like flashing their swimsuits, like lifting them up. Just so many moments that were just, I could have gone without.
Like, I also could not have gone with, I could have gone without the whole threat of the club being shut down, because honestly, it did not make that much of an appearance in the show. Like, there wasn't anybody saying, like, you gotta do this or the club will shut down and blah, blah, blah. Like, even the treehouse thing, that's not a requirement for them to save the club.
Does it make you
they
feel
need
better, Mitz?
members, but they seem to be doing just fine at the moment. Like, really, what they should have just done is take out that whole plot point and just be about the club wanting to do something fun and revitalize it and make it more exciting by building a treehouse. It wasn't needed.
This anime failed for me because the characters are horrible. I'm watching.
That's the crucial part where it fell flat for me.
I'm watching and that's all. Really, the only point I've made. The characters in this anime, they just don't feel like real people. They don't resemble real people. They don't behave like real people. They don't react like real people. They're just anime character tropes stacked on tropes, with a plot line that's basically a trope. Because let's be honest, we've all, even if you've only been watching anime for 6 months, you probably have seen a show that's about a club that's gonna get shut down. Because blah blah blah, and it's like you have an original anime. You can make it about anything you want. This anime could have been about a DIY contest. It could have been about a science fair project. It could have been about anything. But
Cultural fair festival.
But instead, there apparently is no quality writing in anime left or no creativity left, because rather than actually branch out and use the fact that it's original to do anything that you can imagine, they literally take the one thing that's been done 5,000 times and just vomit it out onto a piece of paper in a Jackson Pollock color palette that with characters that don't resemble real people, and you're left with like girls who fucking can't use a jigsaw. You're just begging to lose your fingers. They're fucking not even gonna stabilize that wood on that jigsaw way before you use it, and it's just goofy, honestly. And I don't know who the hell gave a fucking 14-year-old girl or boy a jigsaw. Like, give me a break. Like, you.
Yeah, they really did put a lot of trust into this group of young children.
Japanese schools baby their students to an extent that you wouldn't even believe. I mean, it is unfathomable. There is, as a person who's taught in Japanese schools, there is absolutely 0.00% chance that anybody is given a dangerous object in any Japanese school ever. It is not happening. They will not do it.
And on top of that, who gave this club of kids permission to not only build a treehouse on school grounds and a school tree, but also with barely any supervision?
Well, it's so super dangerous. I mean, you're begging to have the tree house collapse.
Dangerous.
It's going to collapse with 5 people in it, and someone's going to die, and it's going to make national news in Japan, and it's going to be a crisis. Yeah, this anime is not all bad. I mean, like, the animation and art of it looked perfectly fine. I mean, I didn't actually suffer watching this anime. I've seen much worse. Aquatrope of White Sand was way worse. Partially because this anime was short. Even dubbed, this anime didn't like kill me, but I'm not gonna lie, I was much more interested in looking at brackets for March Madness than watching this anime. I mean, I might have had it on. I'm watching it, but I'm very distracted because this anime was not exactly interesting, and it's not my wheelhouse. I'm an old man, and watching little girls that act like cats use a fucking saw is not what I'm in here for. So it's just I'm not the right audience yet again, and it just, the anime doesn't in the purest of essences. And this is basically like my speech before I give my score. This anime didn't contribute anything new to an anime. It didn't do anything new. It didn't branch out. It didn't take risks. It just wasn't interesting. It's just the same old shit.
Is that your... I think we're ready.
Yeah, you want to slap a number at the end of that sentence?
Yeah, I'll give this anime 2 stripped screws out of 5.
Not as bad as I was expecting, to be honest. Mason.
This show was pain. I love the visuals, I love the soundtrack, but even the above average visuals suffered from a lack of consistency. There's scenes in like episode 3 where she's vasing flowers and they teleport into the vase. Where there's scenes in like episode 11 where her mom is like doing the tabs and her like face shield size changes wildly from shot to shot. Like, yeah, there's a lot of nitpicks I can have visually, but overart is strong. I know Yashike and cute girls doing cute things don't rely on a compelling plot, but I need more than just visuals in the soundtrack. I need characters, and this show was drastically lacking in them, both from a development standpoint and just a interesting, realistic, grounded standpoint. It was just so artificial, and I really hate to be so harsh, because I think a lot of people like the vibe of the show, like just how they felt when they watched it, and I don't want to take any of that away from them, but I really just didn't enjoy the show. I'm going to give it 1.5 quaking pigs out of 5.
Oh!
The pig
you
was
get
my
it?
favorite.
Because they're eating pork, and then the pig is scared because they're eating pork. If you didn't get the joke the first time, they're only going to do it 12 more times, so it's okay.
I was just about to say I liked that part.
Poor
Okay,
Caroline.
Pork
I
Caroline.
obviously will defend this show from these two, but I'm not going to say it's perfect. The characters definitely could have been better. I, for the most part, enjoyed them as a whole. Like, they weren't as annoying as a whole as they were individually. I just think it's cute, like going to the beach and collecting shells. I thought it was pretty nostalgic, the things they're doing, like the arts and crafts when you were a kid and, you know, doing things in a different way. Mitsuki, pipe down. It looked fun. It was calming and cute, and Mitsuki's really feeling it right now. Okay. And overall, I enjoyed it for the most part. Definitely had things that could have been a lot better, but I am still going to give this show 3 good jobs out of 5.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
Sure.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad someone liked it more than us because you're a little harsh. That was our show. That was episode 669. Good job of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
All right.
We suffered through it. Hopefully, you enjoyed some of the hot takes we had to provide. Don't forget to leave yours wherever you want to. I don't know. We'll read them somewhere. Join us at aaapodcast.com for all our bonus content, including joining the Discord, leaving your own mailbags, and finding links to our socials and Twitch and all that good stuff so you can hang out with us in the future. Don't forget those iTunes reviews. We really do love them. Next episode, we will be doing a review of Uncle from Another World. So Mitz is all
Finally!
on the pain train this month, and
Yeah, it
we'll
looks like
see
it.
how that goes. So we will
We have to
see
do
you
our
guys
picks.
next week.
I think we got to do our picks next week for spring.
Oh my god, already.
Oh, geez.
Spring
how
season.
The time flies.
Spring season literally starts in 12 days.
Shoot.
Picks and Uncle from Another World next week. See you there, everyone.
Sounds good.
Have a good one.
Vote
Bye-bye,
Max or
everyone.
die.
Bye.
After party? Or what?
I'm ready to fucking party.
Oh, right, okay. See you there.
Bye.